In this video, you get the first look at Call from the Deep, a full homebrew campaign for D&D 5e. Hi, Bob here, and welcome to Bob World Builder, the D&D channel where new and experienced players can come together so we can all improve our games. Subscribe for new videos every Wednesday under your subscriptions tab, and sometimes Saturday videos like this. Alright, the lead designer of Call from the Deep, JVC Perry, sent me this first chapter as a sneak peek because I will be doing a more in-depth review of this campaign to be uploaded shortly after the DMs Guild release date of June 18th. After that book and video come out, I will link them both down in the description. Okay, absolutely amazing cover art. We don't usually get close-ups of mind flayers, so it's kind of gross, but it's evocative and a very clear message as to what players and DMs can expect from this adventure. And a little disclaimer here before we dive in, this is not the final version of Chapter 1, so there's some art missing and not all the formatting is done yet, but here we go. Credits, we'll do that in the full review, so here's a brief campaign summary. After crash landing onto the material plane, a strange otherworldly ship brings with it an unexpected wave of piracy, hideous creatures from the bottom of the trackless sea, and a notorious foe who has been awakened from the deep, intent on destroying the world as you know it. The adventurers must set sail along the Sword Coast, fending off the pirate attacks while putting together the fractured puzzle that will reveal the true villain. A Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign for characters of levels 1 through 10. And half of that, levels 1 through 5, happens just in this first chapter, basically a mini campaign by itself. From the contents here, we see that we get a Sword Coast map, NPC details, and just lots and lots of detailed encounters and locations. And further in the text, it mentions some appendices not even listed here, so there will be even more material. According to a recent tweet from JVC Perry, the total book will be about 270 pages, so it is truly a full campaign. Okay, the intro sets this adventure up really well for DMs who aren't familiar with the Forgotten Realms, with lots of background on the Sword Coast and mind flayers, but here with the colony of Zelix 4 is where the book really gets started. Zelix 4 is an ancient elder brain who remembers the destruction of the Illithid Empire. Through the absorption of dead Illithid brains, Zelix 4 came to know the causes of the Empire's fall and is obsessed with vengeance. Driven by bloodlust, the Illithid colony that follows Zelix 4 searches across the planes of existence for Githyanki creches, hoping to decimate their population through infanticide. It goes on to describe the huge and powerful empire created by Zelix 4, but so it goes, quote, his arrogance became his downfall, unquote, as Githyanki knights had been able to track the colony's frequent visits to the material plane and strike down their mothership Nautiloid. Even still, Zelix and his closest acolytes survived the attack and crash-landed off the Sword Coast and managed to superimpose the mind of this elder brain onto that of Slarkethel, the Kraken. Slarkethel is an aspect of the sea goddess Umberlee, and so all of these Kraken's followers can now be manipulated by Zelix 4. Such a cool backdrop for this adventure, but I'll save my praise of this campaign's originality for the in-depth review. The art pieces here are the top 4 Mind Flayer followers of Zelix and suspected mini-bosses in later chapters. Then we get into the details of the Forgotten Realms factions, including this one I wasn't familiar with, the Kraken Society, and then the full campaign synopsis, which is probably what you came here for. So here we go. The adventure begins with Chapter 1. The adventurers start off in Neverwinter, having volunteered to embark on a voyage to Gunderlin. It is up to the players to determine why their character has joined the voyage. The expedition has been commissioned by Lord Dagult Neverember in response to the news of a bizarre crash-landed vessel from King Oldgrave Redax. The characters travel to Gunderlin but are attacked by Sahagin raiders on the way. After arriving at the crash site on Gunderlin, they have the chance to investigate and discover that the Sahagin are closely linked to the crash. Characters who follow up on this should uncover that the Sahagin are working in conjunction with a pirate fleet named the Black Armada, which has planned simultaneous attacks on major cities of the Sword Coast, Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate. Each captain has their own reason for attacking, which characters may discover. In Chapter 2, the characters defend Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and/or Baldur's Gate against pirate attacks. Clues discovered during or after the attack prompt characters to explore more of the Sword Coast and the Island Kingdoms, on the hunt for a Kraken priest pirate lord named Sea King Tentrix. Various NPCs the characters have met in the cities they defended assist them and offer quests to help them gather information. In Chapter 3, the adventurers set sail around the Sword Coast and Island Kingdoms thanks to the information gathered in the previous chapter. They have the opportunity to discover magic items and allies that help them in the latter chapters and piece together the puzzle that leads them to Chapter 4. In Chapter 4, the adventurers confront Sea King Tentrix and his pirate lord associates in his lair in the Nelanther Isles. He is the link between the Black Armada and the Kraken Society, whose headquarters are on Purple Rocks. Upon arrival in Purple Rocks, the characters must infiltrate the settlements to discover a council of Kraken priests who believe they are carrying out the wishes of Slarkrethel. On Purple Rocks, the Kraken Society is far more sinister than on the Sword Coast, and the hideosities the characters witness threaten to send them insane. By Chapter 5, the characters should realize the true threat, Zelix 4 and the Illithids who are controlling the Kraken Society, ergo the pirates. The characters must pursue Slarkrethel into the deep and engage in an heroic final battle against the Mind Flayers and their terrifying master in the ruined city of Askerly. Call from the Deep is a campaign in which the action of Zelix 4 dictates the pace, but it does afford parties time to delve into side quests and character arcs which they may uncover whilst exploring the Sword Coast. Major events should not unfold whilst the characters are engaging themselves in these elements of gameplay. So much of the Mind Flayer threat might not actualize until these latter chapters, but as mentioned, there will be clues throughout that the evil doings of these Kraken priests are really the work of our puppet master Elder Brain, Zelix 4. Alright, we'll take an in-depth look at Chapter 1 and more in the full review to be uploaded after the release of Call from the Deep on the Dungeon Masters Guild on June 18th. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and check out the videos on your screen for more great D&D content. Thank you for watching, and keep building.